Welcome back, everyone. Following our session yesterday diving into the power of preparation, I've got a really personal story for you today. It's an explainer that proves exactly what we discussed. Potential means literally nothing without the right preparation. We're talking true leadership, self-discovery, and exactly what it takes to position yourself for those massive, life-changing opportunities. Let's just jump right into how this all started. So recently, this massive national opportunity landed at our school, the CIPM 2026 Regional and National Quiz Competition. Now, for some context, the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management is the absolute top regulatory body for human resource practice in Nigeria. So yeah, this wasn't just some regular school quiz. This was a nationwide hunt for top student talent. And the stakes? Huge. The winners represent the entire university, network with top business leaders at a major international conference, and get this, the top 3 national winners score an all-expense-paid trip to Abuja. Talk about a massive career boost, right? When the news broke, university management sent a strict directive straight to the Students' Career Advancement Committee, or SCAC for short. As a lead committee member, my team was tasked with driving the whole selection process. We had to collect CVs and ruthlessly screen the top students from our faculties. The rules? Super strict. We needed 2 students with a minimum 3.5 CGPA, solid HR knowledge, stellar communication skills, the ability to perform under high-pressure timed conditions, proven teamwork abilities, and, of course, a character that perfectly represents the university's values. Now, honestly, I had the grades, the background, the whole shebang. I could have just picked myself for one of those 2 slots. But I made a tough choice. I stepped back. I realized that true leadership isn't always about hogging the spotlight. Sometimes it's really about building a stage so others can perform. I wanted my juniors to have that chance to shine on a national level. So my role shifted to reaching out to the faculty-nominated students directly to collect their documents for the final screening. I made it super clear I was there to help them prepare. But man, when I actually reached out to gather their submissions, that's exactly when all the panic and complaints started. One candidate, almost Selma, was absolutely terrified. Practically paralyzed by self-doubt. She looked at those strict requirements and felt totally empty. She kept telling me, I don't believe in myself. I don't have any official job experience. I can't write this. I can't write that. She didn't even have a CV. And without one, she was going to be disqualified right out of the gate. Now, my own schedule was completely packed, but her situation was critical. I couldn't just brush her off and say, go figure it out. And this is exactly where the power of preparation comes in. Instead of throwing in the towel, we sat down for over 5 hours. And no, we didn't just jump into typing on a computer. We kicked things off with a really deep self-discovery session. I had to help her look past her fear and see the actual value in her everyday hustle. We dug deep, taking the things she thought were literally nothing and translating them into serious professional skills. Step by step, we built a rock-solid CV from scratch, and we crafted a cover letter to show exactly why she belonged there. It was amazing. By the time we wrapped up our preparation, she looked at me and said something that really stuck with me. She said the whole process made her feel deeply empowered. She went from practically in tears saying, I cannot write this, to finally seeing her true worth on paper. Fast forward to today, and the official results dropped. Out of all the brilliant minds that applied and were tested, guess what? Umusamai-sama was chosen. She snagged one of the final 2 spots to represent Ahmadu Bello University on the national stage. Alhamdulillah, that grueling, proper preparation paid off beautifully. So part 1, analyzing the failures and why brilliant students lost. Because we had some incredibly smart students apply who completely struck out. Why? Because they didn't prepare correctly. Let's use this explainer to break down every single detail so you never make these same mistakes. But before we evaluate them, let's establish our baseline for a globally competitive standard. During the screening, I actually shared my own CV as the benchmark. A standard globally competitive CV is strictly 1 page. No exceptions. It features a beautifully clean format, and importantly, it doesn't just list vague job titles. It uses bullet points following an action plus result formula, explicitly using numbers to prove your impact. All right, let's look at the first applicant who didn't make the cut. On paper, this student was brilliant. A stellar 4.07 CGPA in political science, and he even explicitly mentioned his passion for human resources. Sounds great, right? But his application completely fell apart on formatting and presentation. Let's look at candidate 1's formatting sins. First off, his CV spilled onto a second page, completely breaking the standard rule for undergraduates. Second, he typed almost the entire document in all caps. I mean, why are we yelling? In the professional world, all caps isn't just overwhelming, it looks totally outdated and makes it an absolute nightmare for recruiters to actually read what you've written. Then there was the wasted space. Instead of taking the time to write a separate cover letter, he crammed this massive personal profile right into the CV itself. He also included outdated demographic details, stuff like his state of origin and local government, and dedicated a huge chunk at the bottom to listing 3 full referees with their phone numbers. Modern standard CVs completely ditch these things to avoid bias and, actually save space for what matters. But his absolute biggest preparation mistake was using empty titles. Under his leadership section, he listed these massive, heavy-hitting roles like president of a students' union and business relationship manager. Impressive, right? Except he didn't write a single bullet point explaining what he actually did. We had literally zero idea what problems he solved or how many people he actually led. And it gets worse. This guy actually won 2 different debate competitions. That perfectly matched the committee's demand for someone who thrives under competitive conditions. But he just dropped the word winner on the page without explaining a single skill he used. On top of that, he completely missed the instruction to show teamwork abilities. There was zero proof of academic or professional teamwork anywhere on the document. Okay, moving on to the second applicant. Now, this student was an absolute academic powerhouse. An unbelievable 4.48 CGPA in economics, at the very top. But he lost out because of one massive issue, a total lack of tailored preparation. You see, his entire CV was built for the cryptocurrency and finance trading industry. He highlighted misaligned skills like Binance, Bybit, MT5, and Maven trading. Now, don't get me wrong, those are highly lucrative skills. But what on earth do they have to do with a human resource management competition? Absolutely nothing. It's literally like showing up to a baking contest with a wrench. He completely failed to tailor his application to the target audience. Furthermore, under his student leadership roles like class rep and electoral committee member, he just listed basic, everyday duties like organized class meetings. No measurable results whatsoever. More importantly, he provided zero proof of competitive skills. No mention of public speaking, no academic debates, no quizzes anywhere. Just nothing. To top it all off, because he only submitted a CV and couldn't be bothered to write a cover letter, he left the committee completely confused. Why would an economics and crypto trading student want to compete in human resources? It made no sense. Oh, and yeah, he also completely missed the explicit requirement to demonstrate teamwork. Right, moving to part 2, the winning strategy, Salma's masterclass. Let's pivot and look at exactly how her preparation gave her the absolute, undeniable advantage over those other brilliant students. Keep in mind, this is the exact same girl who started out terrified, telling me she didn't believe in herself. But look at what she did. First, she utilized global formatting discipline. 1 page, clean, no outdated demographics or referees. Second, she deployed the action plus result formula like a pro. No empty titles here. She used hard numbers to prove her impact, stating clearly she coordinated 10 volunteers, supported 150-plus individuals, and managed 5-plus events involving over 200 students. Boom, instant impact. Third, she answered the committee's prompt directly. She intentionally solved the exact puzzle the other students ignored. While they missed the teamwork memo, Salma prepared her CV to explicitly highlight her role as team leader for academic group projects, detailing how she coordinated a 6-member team. While the crypto rise showed no competitive proof, she explicitly listed herself as an interclass debate representative, proving she could handle the exact pressure of a national quiz. She even strategically tucked human resource into her intersection just to perfectly align with the target. But here is the ultimate masterstroke of her preparation, the thing that absolutely secured her victory. She went the extra mile. Instead of cramming a messy summary into her CV, she took the time to write a completely separate, highly professional expression of interest cover letter. She brilliantly used it to bridge the gap between her international studies degree and human resources, explaining how studying global relations perfectly trained her to navigate complex cultural dynamics and resolve conflicts. Literally the perfect foundation for HR. And for the grand finale, check out the closing line of her letter. She directly mirrored the exact words of the SCAK directive, stating her strong eagerness to represent Ahmadu Bello University and showcase our excellence. Subconsciously, she proved to the committee that she was the exact ambassador they were looking for. So let's tie this all together. The applicants who lost, they failed because they sent generic, unprepared documents, relied on empty titles without measurable results, missed specific instructions regarding teamwork and competitive conditions, and frankly did the bare minimum. Salma won because she took preparation seriously, she tailored her story, quantified her impact, directly answered every single requirement, and went the extra mile to connect her personal journey to the university's values. As we discussed yesterday, preparation is everything. I hope this deep dive explainer into these real-world applications proves that to you and gives you the exact blueprint you need. Stop doubting yourself, take the time to prepare, dig deep, find your value, and put it on paper properly. So I leave you with this question. If a massive, life-changing opportunity landed on your desk tomorrow morning, would your preparation be ready to meet your potential?